Good morning. This is Maddie Gullickson, and I'm with the Affordable Housing Collaborative. We're a group of fact-based independent advocates concerned about affordable housing in El Paso County. And you can learn more at at affordablehousingelpasoco.org, or follow us on Facebook. Just look up Affordable Housing Collaborative. We're also on LinkedIn. And today we are kicking off a series where we want to talk to individuals in the community connected around the issue of affordable housing. And we are excited today to have Steve Posey from the city of Colorado Springs. So thank you so much, Steve, for joining us. Steve, the question comes up a lot about what the city does with affordable housing. So I would love if you would just take some time and take that question away.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I think the city has a very important role to play in addressing housing needs here in the community. First and foremost, the city released earlier this year a housing plan called Home COS. And I would encourage everybody to take a look at that. You can go to the city's website and look up Community Development and Housing Plan. And there's a link on there which will allow you to download one or more sections of the plan, depending on how much appetite you have for that kind of thing. But that housing plan, I think, is a really key document in terms of helping create a framework for this discussion around affordable housing and housing needs here in our community. The mayor of Colorado Springs, John Suthers, recognizes that as we grow, as our region continues to grow, our housing needs are going to grow with it. And in order to go about addressing those housing needs in a thoughtful and creative way, the mayor wanted to have this housing plan that could be used to help guide that conversation around why housing is so important, what the community's housing needs are. Particularly for some of the populations, lower income populations, seniors, for instance, who are living on fixed incomes, disabled individuals who are here in the community, homeless individuals in the community, workforce people. We've got a fairly large part of our workforce who are making somewhere between, say, $14 to $16 an hour. And what are their housing needs, and are there things that as a community we should be doing in order to make sure that there is enough housing. And then really also we have a lot of millennials who are moving into Colorado Springs. The average age of our population right now is in the mid-30s. And that generation is moving here because they are attracted by the lifestyle. They want to be in a growing city, and we want them to be here, and we want them to have opportunities to buy houses. And at the moment, with the skyrocketing cost of housing for sale here in our community, that has become even more of a challenge. So all of those different issues are captured in Home COS and the city's housing plan. And then there are some specific objectives that we want to achieve over the next 3, 5, even 10 years out. Some of these are long-range objectives that we won't get there tomorrow, but we need to set off on that path so that we can start getting there over the next several years.
Gotcha. So does the city, what does the city do in working towards those goals?
Well, we have some funding that we receive each year from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, as most people know it. My division here at the city is the group that actually manages those funds. And we do have part of that grant, part of the grants that we receive each year from HUD are specifically for developing affordable housing.
Okay. So if people want to learn more about what you are doing and what your program does, or if they want to get more involved in the conversation, how would you recommend they go about doing that?
Well, they need to turn around and go to your website for one thing.
Thank you. I was hoping you would say that. That was a little bit of a softball.
Hey, I'll be shameless about giving you guys a plug. No, it's really, really important that groups like the Affordable Housing Collaborative get the recognition that they need and become a source for information about housing issues and about how to get involved. Exactly that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And that was a perfect plug because it's a challenging issue. There's a lot of components to it. There's a complicated funding stream. There's complications around the cost burden you were talking about with construction. I mean, there's so many different challenges. There's existing zoning laws or code that influences what can and can't be done. So it's not a silver bullet type of an issue, right? And so there's all different
That's
pieces to it.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think one of the most important things that we can do is recognize that all of the strategies around addressing housing do take time.
Mm-hmm.
They take time to really get them right, and then they take time to implement. And most importantly, it takes time to actually see the results.
Yeah.
The mayor has been very vocal about establishing a goal for this community to build or preserve up to 1,000 units of housing each year. And we're doing pretty well with that goal. I anticipate that by the end of 2021, with all of the development projects that we've got in the pipeline, I am tracking, I think it's a little over 1,900 units at this point. So, we are doing well in terms of meeting that goal, but I think people need to understand, and this is not even specific to affordable housing, all development takes time to get out of the ground.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, no, good to remember. So we want to be sensitive to your time. Do you have any final thoughts about opportunities that you're really excited about around this issue upcoming, and any challenges you want to talk about?
We are starting to see a few more what are called mixed income projects, where we've got some multifamily buildings, and typically they're smaller, say 50 units or less. That will actually include some affordable apartments in those projects. Okay. And that's an approach that we really haven't seen for a long, long time here in Colorado Springs. But it's very encouraging because it's an indication of two things. One, that we've got a development community that really is engaged with the issue and wants to find ways to meet the housing needs of lower income families. And then two, it's a way to kind of normalize housing. People tend to think that affordable housing and the people who live in affordable housing are somehow different from all the rest of us. Mm-hmm. And it's just not true. Yeah. And being able to work on projects where there will be a mix of people from different income levels and different ages and different backgrounds is something that I find a very encouraging sign for the future of the city.
It is. Very good. Well, thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. Again, if you are interested in learning more about the issue, the city has a lot of great resources. We include those resources and many more on the Affordable Housing website. And since I botched it at the beginning, I'm going to make sure and say it one more time. It's affordablehousingelpasoco.org. And again, follow us on Facebook and/or LinkedIn for regular updates. But even to learn about some of those projects, we do have a space on our website that we list out upcoming projects as well. So be sure to check it out. But again, thank you so much, Steve. If there's anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning. We truly appreciate it. And we hope that everyone has a wonderful Thursday. Thanks again.
Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you.